Today I'm going to be sharing my January TBR. I've never really been big on doing TBRs, but I thought it would be something I might try in 2025. I'm going to try it out at least for January, February, March. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll change my mind. I would like to introduce some reading prompts and doing a little select from a jar, have a little fun, do something a little challenging. I've got some ideas of some challenges that I want to do for myself, like reading more backlist books, reading more sci-fi books, starting new series, because I always try to finish all the series I'm reading before I start new series, but there's series that I just want to try and start new series. So there's some particular challenges I have in mind of things I want to do more this year, and I think that'd be a good way to hold myself accountable to doing that is to do monthly TBRs, pull out a couple challenges, and make that part of these videos. So if you want to leave any challenges for me down below in the comments, this video would be a great place to do that because I'm going to start doing that next month for my February TBR. This month I have some plans in mind, some things to catch up on because December was a slow reading month for me, and I've got some stuff that I want to accomplish in January, so I have strict plans. I also know February is going to be a little bit of a shorter month. It's also going to be a busier month for me because I'm actually traveling to Japan in February, which is super cool. So I'm trying to front load some projects in January, do some filming so that while I'm traveling I can still have some content going up. So it's a busy month. First, I'll tell you I am working on a reading vlog project. I had so much fun doing the Goodreads Choice Awards challenge video in November. I felt so energized by having a list of things I wanted to accomplish, so I was trying to figure out other challenges like that I wanted to do, and I have one picked out for January, and I think I'm going to keep the concept a surprise so that the video is just fresh and fun when you see it. But I'm going to be reading 5 books for that video, and I think I'll just tell you about what one of them is, and maybe that'll give you a little hint as to what the concept of the video is. And that is James by Percival Everett. This is not a book that would typically be on my TBR or be at the top of my radar. It is definitely being read for this challenge, but I've seen this book get so much buzz all year. I feel like this was everywhere, just winning all of these awards, getting all this recognition, being on people's top 10 list. All that I know about it is that it is a retelling of Huckleberry Finn coming from a different perspective, and that does not sound interesting to me. I will not lie, that does not sound interesting to me. But people are loving it so much, and they're saying there's a great story here. Even if you don't have a lot of context to the original story, this is still a great story in itself, and I'm excited about the challenge that I'm doing with the 5 books I'll be reading for the video. So this is one of them. That's a little hint. And if you want to try to guess below, you can do that too to see if you can figure out what the video will be. Another task I have for myself in January is completing Kingdom of Ash so I can fully complete the Throne of Glass series. I was really trying to do this in 2024. I set out a goal of reading a book a month in the series throughout the year. There are 8 books total, right? I think there's 8. And so I should have been able to do it, but some of these books are really long, and sometimes I just wasn't as invested in the series. Sometimes I just had other stuff I wanted to get to other than the series. So it's dragging a little bit into January, but I'm definitely finishing it because I'm really not too far away. I only have 300 pages to go at this point, so it's still the length of a full novel that I have to go, but I will be finishing this in January, and then I will be saying goodbye to the Throne of Glass series. I have not loved this series. I haven't, and I thought that I might because it's a very popular one. It's a long one to get invested in. I've liked it, and there are certain moments that peak for me. There are certain moments that get boring for me and that drag on a bit. Either way, I'm just ready to be done with it. I am such a completionist. I just want to check it off my list and have it fully done. I think I'm gonna be reading a lot more series in 2025 in general. I've already got a couple more on my radar. There's a couple I want to start. There's a couple I want to finish. There's a couple I want to continue into. That was a new thing for me in 2024, was reading a lot more series, and I see that happening even more in 2025. Speaking of starting series, I'm going to be reading The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. This was one of my most anticipated books of 2024, and I just did not get around to it in time. It is a mystery that is a Sherlock style mystery, and I think there's a fantasy element to the story as well. I've heard amazing things about it, and I'm just so jealous and upset with myself that I did not make the time to read it in 2024 because I feel like maybe it would have been a favorite book of the year, but that's why it's on the top of the radar for January. Hopefully I can find an early favorite of 2025. And I think the second book in the series is set to come out this year as well. So I'll be starting this one. Usually I don't love to start a series until the series is complete, but I think they're going to be more episodic, and so you won't have to remember everything. That's typically what I'm finding with mystery series as I've started reading more mystery series, is I don't always feel like I have to remember everything, so I'm okay spacing them out a little bit. But yeah, super excited to read this one. And then another mystery I'm excited to read that could be another potential early favorite of the year is The Examiner by Janice Hallett. If you know me, you know I love Janice Hallett's mysteries. She writes such compelling mixed media murder mysteries that are just mind-blowing to me. I don't know how she does it. They're so clever and intricate, and I just love reading them. So I thought this would be a great way to kick off the year, was picking up the newest Janice Hallett. This one says 6 students, 1 murder. Can you solve the crime? And then finally, I have a couple arcs that I need to catch up on this month. One of those is Cross My Heart by Megan Collins. This is a thriller that's coming out on January 14th. It's about this woman who receives a heart transplant and then she becomes obsessed with her donor's husband. Strange concept. I like an obsession story. I haven't loved thrillers in a while, so I'm being more selective with which thrillers I pick up in 2025. But this one sounds intriguing to me. I haven't read from the author before, so maybe that'll be a mistake and maybe I won't love it. I don't know, but you never know till you try. So I'm gonna be picking that one up. I'm also hoping to read this book called Little Mysteries by Sarah Gran that's coming out in February. This is said to be 9 miniature puzzles. They're like short stories that are mysteries. The description says that this is drawing on memories of choose your own adventure novels, Encyclopedia Brown, 2-minute mysteries, and teen sleuths. So it seems like maybe this is going to play with format a little bit. I'm not sure, but I have enjoyed Sarah Gran's writing before. This sounds really different and interesting, and I think it'll be cool to check out. Next, I have a cozy fantasy book that's coming out at the end of January called The Rainfall Market. In this story, you can receive a ticket to come visit the Rainfall Market and get the chance to change your life. You're following a woman named Saren who's visiting the market, determined to change her life, and she ends up being accompanied by a magical cat as well, and it just sounds like a really fun, cozy way to start the year. And lastly, I have a horror anthology that I had an arc of that I really need to get caught up on, which is called The Darkest Night. This is 22 horror stories that I believe are all set in winter, so I have to read it now or else the opportunity is going to pass. So I'm really determined to get to this one. With 22 stories, I imagine they're going to be really short, and there's a lot of authors in this collection that I've read from before that I like, and then plenty of authors that I haven't experienced before, so I think it'll be a good mix of some familiar authors and some new to me authors, and it's the perfect time of year to read it. That's it for my January reading plans. Like I said, I'm just testing this out. I'm not committing to doing a TBR video every month in 2025 because I might find out that I hate doing it. Let me know what you think down below. Do you like having insight into what I'm going to read? Do you like having some surprises? Would you rather know everything? Would you rather know nothing? Let me know all of that down below. And again, if you want to leave some reading prompts and challenges for me down there that I can put into my jar for when I start doing that next month, you can do that as well. But that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!